How to batch process data using the simple agent designer for Business Central. Hey, I'm Erik, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can put agents to working on your data. So the standard functionality, or the functionality of the first version, now we are already on the second version, of the first version of the simple agent designer, is to process external data somehow and generate transactions or work on that. But the new use case is to work on data that we already have. And for that, there are some improvements in the app. The first one is that we have now made it possible for the agents to use tools. And we can see what tools are available. In this case, there are 4 tools available in my system here. The first one is a tool called Update Field. Update a field value in the current data context, meaning that if we set an agent to work on something, this tool can update fields in that something. That's what I'm going to show you in just a second. Then we have a couple of demo tools, which is part of a open source project. So if you need to add functionality, you can write a tool in AL and expose the tool to the agents, as is done from these two. And there's an open source example where these come from. And here's another tool came from someone who was creating work order documents from job activity lines. Anyway, so that's tools. So now we have AIs, they can think, and now they can also use tools. I have created a new agent. I have created an agent called Batches, and Batches is allowed to use a tool. We can see that Batches have a simple instruction. Batches will be giving a record from Business Central and use the update field tool to make changes as requested. If you need to search the web like Google etc., then ask Weber to help you. Weber can search the web. There's nothing to post, and there's no need to contact Wisely and other AIs for this. Because there might be instruction, hey, you should always post something, but not in this case. We can see that Weber is another AI that has access to a model that can search the web. So we, as I said, there is a web call tool, but that can certainly be used to look stuff up. But if you want to Google stuff or stuff like that, it's much better to have a dedicated AI that will use a dedicated search LLM. But we're gonna use Batches to do something, and I'll create a new workload type here. So workload type is where we describe what needs to be done. We'll call this batch mode example, and we will also do that in the description, right? So instead of that, this is based on a payload, like if you have a file of stuff that needs to be processed, we're gonna base this on data. And then you can see that something changed down here. And what I want to do is something simple. So I want to take customers. So I select a table. You can run this on anything in Business Central. And I want to add some filters. So maybe you want to run on specific things. I'm just going to run on a few customers here. So that's wrong. So 3 customers. You have the option of the since last. So if there's something that is doing on a regular basis, you can add the since last run, and then you can process from here. So if this one is activated, then it will always add a filter on anything has been updated since the last time you hit process. An example of this is actually in Hogard.com ourselves. So when you download an app from AppSource, we get a marketing lead. We like to figure out whether that is downloaded as an end user or as a Business Central partner. So we have taken one of these and tasked them with figuring out if the downloader is an end user or partner. And that runs on a job queue and uses the runs in slash functionality. Anyway, let's get back to the example at hand. So I have said that, okay, let's run this on customers. So what I want to do here is what should they do? Well, given a customer, please set the customer posting group to big if the customer's balance is more than 10,000 perhaps. Otherwise, set the posting group to small. Simple instruction. Again, what you put in here should be the exact same thing as you would give a clerk. Here's some, go through the customers. If they have a high balance, give them one posting group. If they have low balance, of course, the example here doesn't make much sense. Why would you change the posting group based on balance? But it's just an example. So I save this, and now I could just click here and then all will happen. But it's a good idea the first time you define something to figure out if it works. So the way we do that is that we exit the type. Actually, we probably need to do one more thing. Batch mode example. We need to make sure that we have an AI assigned to this. So I'm going to do that. So now I'm going to go and create a new workload. And we call it batch mode example. And nothing else is here. So again, I could click process and everything would just run, but now we're going to see what's actually happening. So I'm going to click debug run. I click next, and Patty says table split done. Well, not quite done, but the way it works is that whenever there's something there's more than one to process, instead of leaving it to the AIs to figure out the correct order and make sure that they process everything, we split. So now we have batch mode here. We can see that there's 3 child workloads. So if we look at this, we can see that the job has been defined, that those are the 3 customers we need to work on. So we'll grab the first one. And we can see that the Simple Agent Designer has now extracted all the information about this customer. It has also defined what is known as the data context. So when working on this customer, on this job, the update fields can only update this customer. So there's no chance for the AI to go rogue with the update field and updates fields everywhere in the system. That's not how it works. It's confined to they can only update fields on this customer. So we click debug run again so we can kind of step through and see what's happening. So we say next step. And Batty says, the customer's balance is 58,453, which is greater than 10,000. It's right. Therefore, I have set the customer posting group field to big as requested. And we can see that it says tool call, meaning that it has used the tool. The task is completed. So if we go to customers, we find customer 10,000, customer posting group is big. We can take a look at 20,000 and see that is domestic. What is the balance here? That's 4,000. So let's try to run the next one. So this one, and now we're just gonna click process. Success. So let's go to the customers and take a look. 20,000. The customer posting group is set to small. So imagine you have a workload and say, oh, I need to do something with these 100 orders or these vendors or something. Now you can task an agent to do that. And the only thing you have to do is go in and where is it? Go in and then describe what needs to be done. And the only thing I did here was given a customer, please set the customer posting group to big if the customer's balance is more than 10,000, otherwise set the posting group to small. And you can get more specific in instructions, and you can ask it to update multiple fields, and just like you would if you were asking a clerk, an assistant to do this, the AI will do the work for you. The Simple Agent Designer with the splitting functionality will make sure that this can work in scale. So you can just ask it to take one at a time, and it will just keep going. So give it a try. The Simple Agent Designer is free to use in a sandbox. You will need to sign up for an AI account, either with Azure, with OpenAI, with Anthropic, but then you're ready to go. There are links below if you want to read more about this. Thanks for watching.